Do you ever feel like you're a little bit behind? Yeah, okay. I think a lot of us feel that way from time to time. Come along as we talk about what happens if you get behind in grading. Hi, it's Amanda from Learning to Love Well, and today we are going to talk about, I think what a lot of homeschool mamas we don't talk about is grading. I think we see it in public school, you know, the teachers that are carrying around stacks of papers like this thick, you know what I'm talking about? And they're sitting there at like their kids' like softball games or gymnastics, and they're sitting there like checking off. By the way, I got my Jesus Saves Bro shirt on. Let me see if I can put it in there. Super cute. Anyway, so we all know that grading is an important part of homeschool. I actually have not heard a whole lot of people talk about it. So a lot of times we can fall in two camps, right? That we push it off because maybe we weren't sitting down with the kids and we were trying to get all the other things done, and maybe during homeschool time we weren't grading as we were grading along with them, or maybe life just happens. I remember one time watching a video with some old school homeschoolers, and I felt so condemned after listening to them. They said, like, if you don't grade every day, then you don't need the responsibility of homeschooling. And I'm like, eh. So I guess they were a family, like a couple who did it together, which is awesome. But that is just not where I'm at. Obviously, homeschool has not been like it was for some families who do have two parents doing it. That's awesome if that's where you're at. Kudos to you. Or if you are a mama that has, you know, all older kids, that's great. But sometimes when you're in a hard season, you just had a baby, someone's in the hospital, you're going through sicknesses in the family. Sometimes I'll have two kids homeschooling because another two are sick, and I'm tending to the other two because, you know, they're sick. You know, there are life things that come up where grading can get behind. With that being said, sorry if it's a little rocky, I have a tiny tot that wants to join me in here. He's decided that he is gonna jump in on mom's video time, which is perfectly fine. So what do you do then when you do get behind? So I have 3 kids that are school aged, and they all have about 5 or 6 subjects each. So yeah, so I have 3 kids that are school aged, and all of them have about 5 to 6 subjects each. So they have 2 different language curriculums, math, penmanship, or one of my children is in history instead of penmanship. They graduated penmanship. And the other one is spelling. That is the grade work that they have individually. They also do America's Story. We also have 3 group subjects, possibly 4 if you count art, but we don't do art all the time. That's kind of like a special time. And so they have Answers in Genesis Science, they have America's Story, and they have Geography. So we're talking about 6, well, let's just do 5 times 3, 15, 15 plus 8, 3, 18. So I have 18 subjects a week that I get to grade. Now, very manageable when I am sitting down for the whole hours that they are homeschooling and I am grading as we are going. This is not as manageable when I am trying to also get other things done. So, for that being said, what happens when I get behind on subjects? Okay, so this is what I do. 1, sometimes I will just break it down and have a complete power hour. So I will just sit there and I will take all of the grading materials and I will just grade until my head hurts. That has worked in the past. One of the things that I do try to do though is really try to get most of my grading done during the time that we are homeschooling them. So if my kids are working on algebra, I can get their language lessons and start grading. Or if I am working on science with them and they're testing, I can grab something and grade. This helps me to stay on point and stay caught up, because 18 subjects within, well, yeah, 18 subjects within the week, plus if you count the Tiny Tots curriculum, I guess 19 subjects per week, that I can really have to grade at any given time. So with that being said, sometimes the best thing to do is just do it with the kids all the time. Now, obviously, this is the ideal, but sometimes it does not happen. My last resort to catch up grading is if things have gotten really crazy. Like we have someone in the hospital who's had to go through surgery that I've had to tend to them, and somebody has kind of taken over most of the homeschooling responsibilities for a couple of days. Or, you know, during this move, and this week, and I haven't been sitting down grading while they are working because I'm unpacking or I'm trying to get the house in order since we just moved. This is the time that sometimes I can resort to something where I am grading tests. So my curriculums have test spots where every 10 days they are testing. Now, if I ever get to the place where I'm like, okay, I just need to hit tests, that is a possibility. So what you can do is you can grade the test, and then for whatever reason, if they are struggling in a particular area, you can go back to those particular areas in their book and go back through and see where they are making all of their mistakes. And I just want to encourage you, if you ever get behind on grading, figure out what works with you for you and your family to get back on track. I do believe grading is very important, just because you do want to be able to know where your child's at and make sure that there's no places inside of their learning that they just are not understanding or anything else. And it's very easy to catch things if you stay on top of the grading. However, if you have a hard season and there are things going on and you cannot do it every single day and you cannot stay on top of it, try to get the tests done first. Tests and quizzes done first, because those will give you a great insight to whether or not the child has mastered the concepts that you are trying to teach them. Another thing is that if you are really behind in grading, pick the most important subjects. So for example, for me, language, math, the science we do together, oh, I forgot health. We do 21 subjects a week. 21 subjects. And what I mean by subject is we have 3 kids in 3 different math, 3 different, yeah, okay, you get the picture. So 21 subjects. I forgot about health. How did I forget about health? I don't know. Okay, getting back to it. So 21 subjects. I will pick the subjects that are the most important, and that would be math, phonics, language, and spelling. Spelling is another thing that I want to get them. And their penmanship most of the time is not going to be the most important, although I will kind of skim through to make sure they're not getting sloppy, because I really want to make sure that they are mastering those hand skills and that they have nice cursive and nice penmanship. But the good news is grading that is a very quick glance through, and you can pretty much see if they're actually making the curves they need to have legible cursive or penmanship writing. So with that being said, don't get discouraged. If you've had a long season and you need to catch up on grading, you can do this, mama. If I can do it with 21 subjects a week, trust me, you can do it too. I will encourage you, if you can, sit down and try to do it while your children are working on their subjects. As they finish a subject, go through and quickly grade. It does make a world of difference. It does make it a way quicker, and you're not grading for hours and hours and hours later that day. So with that being said, I hope this helps. I hope it encourages you, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless you. Goodbye.